Welcome to Audiobooks. Immerse yourself in the world of stories, ideas, and knowledge, all through the power of audio. Book title: Destroy the Old You and Rebuild Yourself Alone. A brutally honest blueprint for reinventing your life through solitude. Chapter 1: The Lie You've Been Living. You weren't born fake. You were made that way. Piece by piece, the world handed you labels: student, son, daughter, polite, obedient, smart, nice, normal. You didn't ask for them, but you wore them like clothes too big for your frame, hoping they'd eventually fit. Spoiler, they never did. You were told how to act, how to think, what success looked like, what love should feel like. You became a walking collage of borrowed opinions and secondhand dreams. The you you're living right now, it might not even be yours. It might be a Frankenstein made of parents' expectations, societal scripts, and algorithm-fed desires. Unmasking the old self. This isn't a gentle wake-up call. It's a demolition order. The old you, the people pleaser, the overthinker, the version of yourself that laughs when they're dying inside and says, "I'm fine," when they're falling apart, that version needs to go. Not be improved, not polished, not medicated, destroyed. Because that self was built to survive, not thrive. That self was built to be accepted, not respected. That self was built to live by someone else's rulebook. Look in the mirror. Strip away your job title, your relationship status, your hobbies, your followers, your clothes, your history. Who's left? Most people have no idea. They've played a role for so long they mistake it for their soul. But here's the brutal truth. If your life feels fake, it probably is. Who you are versus who you were told to be. The world doesn't want you to know yourself. That would make you dangerous. It wants you tame, predictable, compliant. They told you to color inside the lines, follow the plan, tick the boxes, go to school, get the degree, get the job, get the partner, get the house, get the kids, retire, die. But somewhere in that checklist, your real self got buried under convenience and compromise. Who would you be if you had no one to impress? What would you pursue if failure didn't matter? What would you walk away from if you knew you'd be okay alone? Those questions are scary because they lead to freedom, and freedom is terrifying when you've lived your life in a cage with golden bars. Rock bottom is sacred ground. You know what's worse than failing? Succeeding at becoming someone you were never meant to be. When everything falls apart, when your relationships collapse, your job becomes meaningless, your reflection becomes unrecognizable, don't panic. That emptiness is not the end, it's the beginning. Rock bottom isn't your grave, it's the foundation. You've spent years building a version of yourself that was never real. Now it's time to burn it down. And guess what? You have to do it alone. No one's coming to save you. No one's coming to hold your hand through this. That sounds harsh, but it's your liberation. Because if no one built you, no one can break you. This is your life, your war, your rebirth. And it starts when you stop lying to yourself. End of Chapter 1. Chapter 2. Choosing isolation, not loneliness. Let's make something clear. Being alone is not the same as being lonely. One is a decision. The other is a wound. You've been taught to fear being alone. You've been told it means you're unloved, unwanted, abandoned, that something is wrong with you, that you're failing at life. So you cling to people, to noise, to distractions, to chaos, anything to avoid sitting in silence with yourself. But here's the truth. If you're never alone, you'll never meet yourself. The power of choosing to be alone. Choosing isolation isn't weakness, it's a weapon. When you willingly pull back from the world, you stop absorbing everyone else's noise. You stop performing. You stop pretending. You give yourself the space to ask real questions. What do I actually believe? What kind of life am I creating? Do I like the person I am when no one's watching? Most people don't want those answers. They'd rather stay busy, stay entertained, stay connected, because connection without purpose is a distraction. It gives the illusion of meaning while stealing your energy. Solitude, though, that's where transformation happens. Isolation isn't about being antisocial, it's about being pro-self. Solitude versus sadness. Loneliness says, I'm missing something. Solitude says, I'm becoming someone. You feel lonely when you're disconnected from yourself, when you abandon your truth to fit in, when you betray your instincts just to belong. That's not a lack of people, it's a lack of presence. Solitude is different. It's sacred. It's uncomfortable, yes, but discomfort is the soil where strength grows. In solitude, you don't run from your emotions, you face them. You don't scroll past your pain, you sit with it. You don't pretend to be okay, you start asking why you're not. Sadness is reactive. Solitude is intentional. And if you choose it on purpose, it becomes your greatest ally. Silence, the loudest teacher. Silence strips away the lies. When the noise dies, all that's left is truth, your fears, your insecurities, your desires, your regrets. It's all there, raw and real, and most people can't handle it. That's why they run. That's why they drown it out with playlists, conversations, Netflix, substances, anything but the sound of their own soul. But if you can stand the silence, it will teach you everything. Silence will tell you what needs to heal. Silence will show you who you've been avoiding becoming. Silence will remind you that peace isn't found out there. It's built in here. You won't hear your inner voice until you shut out the rest of the world. And that voice, it's the blueprint to the real you. So no, you're not falling off. You're falling inward. Let them wonder where you went. Let them talk. Let them misunderstand. You're not isolating to disappear. You're isolating to reappear, reborn. End of Chapter 2. Chapter 3. Cut the Dead Weight. Let's get brutally honest. Not everyone and everything gets to come with you. If you're serious about becoming someone new, the old attachments have to go. That includes dead-end relationships, toxic habits, soul-sucking routines, and environments that drain you dry. You don't grow by adding more. You grow by subtracting what's holding you back. But here's the problem. Most people stay stuck not because they can't move forward, but because they refuse to let go. The weight you're carrying is killing you. Some of the people in your life are not friends, they're anchors. Some of your habits aren't comforting, they're cages. And some of the places you keep returning to, they've already expired. You know this. You've felt it in your gut. You've ignored it. You've stayed because of comfort, fear, guilt, nostalgia, or some warped sense of loyalty. But none of that changes the truth. They're not helping you evolve. The friend who only calls when they need something? The relationship built on dependency, not growth? The late-night scrolling, the junk food binges, the weekly parties that leave you emptier than before? Dead weight. If it's not helping you heal, build, or expand, it's holding you back. Full stop. Practical detox. Letting go without guilt or drama. Detoxing your life doesn't require theatrics. You don't have to make a grand exit or announce a new era on social media. You just stop feeding what drains you. Here's how. Audit your life like a ruthless CEO. List the people, habits, environments, and routines. What energizes you? What depletes you? If it's not serving the future you, it's feeding the old one. Detach without explanation. You don't owe anyone a press release. You owe yourself peace. Quietly cut off access. Set boundaries. Unsubscribe from the chaos. Replace, don't just remove. Remove the toxic friend. Replace them with solitude or someone who inspires you. Quit the bad habit. Replace it with a better one. The void must be filled or your past will creep back in. Feel the guilt, but act anyway. Guilt will show up. Let it. It's just a sign that you're choosing yourself. Do it anyway. Guilt is temporary. Regret lasts forever. The myth of loyalty to your past. You don't owe your past anything but a proper burial. Loyalty to your history is not the same as commitment to your growth. You can love someone and still outgrow them. You can appreciate your past and still walk away from it. You can forgive yourself and still refuse to stay the same. Growth means betrayal of the version of you that stayed small to keep others comfortable. So no, you're not selfish for walking away from old friends. You're not cold for choosing your mental health over a history with someone. You're not fake for evolving. You're just finally being loyal to your future, not your past. Clean cuts heal faster. Let go, make room, level up. End of Chapter 3.
Chapter 4. Burn the scripts. You're not just fighting your circumstances. You're fighting the story you've been telling yourself. The voice in your head, the one that whispers, "You are not good enough, you'll always be this way, don't rock the boat." It's not your voice. It's a script, written by fear, conditioning, and the people who wanted you small. It's time to burn that script to the ground. You were programmed. Now uninstall it. From the moment you were born, you were programmed. Be a good girl. Be a strong man. Don't cry. Don't be difficult. Make everyone happy. Play it safe. Keep your head down. Who do you think you are? Every message taught you to be less of yourself to survive. And over time, you internalized the programming. It became your identity. You weren't born a people-pleaser or a self-doubter or a martyr. You were taught to be that way. And now you wear it like skin, wondering why you feel trapped inside your own mind. Here's the truth. You're not broken. You're just running outdated code. Destroying the loops. Victimhood, doubt, pleasing. Let's call out the patterns. Victimhood. You tell yourself you have no control, that life happens to you, not for you. You find comfort in blaming parents, partners, society, the world. But victimhood might be the heaviest chain of all. It looks like protection, but it's just another cage. Reality check. You're not powerless. You're just afraid to own your power because it comes with responsibility. Self-doubt. You sabotage your own potential before anyone else gets the chance. You procrastinate. You overthink. You shrink yourself to avoid failure. But self-doubt is just fear in disguise. It's not humility. It's self-harm with better PR. People-pleasing. You smile while dying inside. You say yes when everything in your body is screaming no. You morph to fit whatever version of you people like best. But being liked and being respected aren't the same thing. One keeps you stuck, the other sets you free. It's time to break the loops. Rewriting your identity with intention.
You don't have to be who you've always been. That's not loyalty. That's laziness disguised as comfort. Your identity isn't a life sentence. It's a choice, and you can choose again. Start here. Observe the voice. Don't obey it. Every time the old script speaks, you always mess up. You're not built for this. You're too late. Pause. Don't argue. Don't resist. Just notice. It's a script, not truth. Create new language. Replace "I can't" with "I'm learning." Replace "I'm not enough" with "I'm rebuilding." Language shapes belief. Belief shapes identity. Act like the person you want to become. Identity isn't changed by thinking. It's changed by doing. Every small action is a vote for the future version of you. Keep voting every day. Burn it daily. The old script will try to come back. Burn it again and again. You don't fight it once. You fight it until the voice is yours. You're not here to fit a mold. You're here to break the mold. The old story, the one where you play small, stay stuck, and say sorry for existing? Light a match. Let it burn. End of Chapter 4. Chapter 5. Embrace the Void. There's a part of the journey that no one warns you about. The in-between. It's not where you started, and it's not where you're going. It's the void. That strange, silent space where your old self has been burned down, but your new self hasn't fully emerged. You've let go of the lies. You've walked away from the noise. You've cut the dead weight. But now, you feel nothing. And that's exactly where you're supposed to be. The in-between, the death of who you were. Transformation isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it's lonely. And sometimes it feels like dying. Because in many ways, it is. You're not just changing habits, you're burying versions of yourself that were once necessary for survival. You're mourning identities you clung to, even if they hurt you. You're leaving behind people who once felt like home, even if that home was burning down. And now, without the noise of your past, you're just here. No more masks, no more autopilot, no more pretending. This is the void, and it's where rebirth begins. How to stay grounded when it all falls apart. The void feels like free fall. No direction, no certainty, no structure. You wake up and question everything. Who am I? What now? Why am I doing this? But listen, this part is sacred. When everything familiar disappears, you finally have a clear canvas. You're no longer driven by approval, no longer chained to routine. You're finally able to ask the real questions. Not what should I do, but what do I want to become? To survive the void, you don't need more answers. You need to anchor yourself in a few simple truths. Discomfort is not danger. Just because it feels bad doesn't mean it is. Growth is often disguised as chaos. You're not lost, you're shedding. It's normal to feel disconnected when you're detaching from everything false. Breathe, move, stay. You don't need a master plan. You just need to keep going. One breath, one step, one day at a time. The pain of letting go and why it's worth it. Letting go hurts. It hurts because it's real. It hurts because it matters. You're not just dropping things. You're cutting cords that once gave you identity, comfort, and control. But if you never let go, You'll never have empty hands to receive what's next. You have to bleed a little to be born again. The pain you're feeling now is proof that you're on the edge of something greater, something truer, something real. You are not broken. You are becoming. You are not behind. You're in the cocoon. This is the part where most people quit. They run back to who they were because the unknown is too heavy. But not you. You've come too far to turn around now. Stand in the void. Feel everything. And wait for the fire inside you to spark again. Because it will. And when it does, you'll rise, not as a better version of your past, but as someone entirely new. End of chapter 5.